Now, if you guys are running around making YouTube videos about cryptocurrency, TikToks, making Instagram posts, talking about your bags, saying, whoa, I made 212% on Zilliqa today. Woo, I'm feeling good. Well, be careful, because that means the rest of the world knows. And you don't want to end up like this guy. Crypto expert ambushed, shot 5 times at New York City hotel in attempted robbery of his $450,000 Richard Mille watch. Also, just a little note here, by the way. Come on. Sorry. If you guys catch me walking around with a $500,000 wristwatch, don't shoot me, but give me a little slap. Be like, what the heck, dude? Come on, there's much better ways to spend $450,000. Look, especially like wearing it around New York City, terrible idea, okay? Maybe if it's like a grandfather's watch or something, maybe you've got it passed down, maybe I get it, but come on. A robber who was after a $450,000 Richard Mille watch shot a 33-year-old French cryptocurrency expert at point blank range in Manhattan this month. The victim told the Daily Mail that he believed he was followed for hours or days prior to the attack. The victim, Pierre Jamal, sorry, I can't do French either, was ambushed outside of his Manhattan hotel. He said that he was shocked by how dangerous New York City had become and said he would never have visited if he knew how much it had changed in the last 10 years since he lived there. I mean, it has changed a lot. There's a lot going on with policies and so on, as well as just, look, inflation's happening. People are not making, $450,000 a year, which is on your wrist either. Like, observe the room, bro. He was visiting from Hong Kong and was getting out of an Uber at the 50 Hotel and Suites in Midtown when the incident took place. Quote, given the fact he was waiting there when we arrived and also the violence of the crime, I believe he followed me, he said. I believe they found me somewhere, then they tracked me for a few hours or days to figure out what I do, where I go. I think it was organized. He continued telling the Daily Mail, it cannot be a coincidence because it happened between the Uber and the door of the hotel. There's 2 meters of distance. The guy was waiting for me. There is no doubt about it. He started shooting me even before I understood he wanted my watch. And from then I was just pushing the gun down and he kept shooting my legs. It was crazy, he said. I know he shot 5 times, but I think some of them went through both legs. 3 of them are point blank shootings. I have a lot of bullet holes. He was helped when a female friend of him and his wife jumped on the robber's back and began to choke him. She is one of my really good friends. She is fiery. She jumped on his back and she did like a triangle choke like in MMA. Bro, I'm just going to tell you guys, get out there, get into some jiu-jitsu, start learning how to protect yourselves in multiple ways. Let's do it. He quickly passed out after being shot and started to bleed out on the street, the report said. Meanwhile, the robber was unable to get his watch off because of the bracelet security mechanism it had. The robber escaped in a black 4-door BMW. He has had 6 surgeries so far. They hit my femoral artery. It's something where you usually die in 5 minutes. It was a major surgery to save my life. I was surprised when I talked to one of the doctors here. I said, does it happen often? And he was like, yes, without hesitation. If I knew New York had changed like that, I would have never come here. I would have diverted my business trip and stayed in Europe. You don't need to be a genius to realize New York is very, very dangerous right now. I don't think it's safe for anyone. There are too many people who have nothing to lose. And that's the thing, nothing to lose. You don't want to be walking around with even $450 worth of bling, to be honest. But you don't want to be walking around with $450,000 worth of bling in a place that has been destroyed economically. And people literally do have nothing to lose. It's not safe. Now, I feel for the guy. Obviously, I don't want anybody getting shot, period. End of story, end of the day. But there are some things within the cryptocurrency industry when you see people showing off all this bling and talking about how much money they make and blah, 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 and buying their Bored Apes and doing all this, where you're like, all right, let's slow down. Because also from my perspective, I'm really looking at cryptocurrency not just from the perspective of like building a business through cryptocurrency mining, but also from the perspective of how can it change and help everybody. Also, how can it help these desperate people within New York? This is how I look at it. And it's the same reason why I don't like a lot of the conferences that charge exuberant fees for their conferences. In fact, like it's super kind of gross to me in general. And I wish that there was a way where we would have practical conferences with practical workshops like how to protect your seed phrases and set up your wallets and all of that sort of thing that was accessible by the general public and not blocked off by some huge paywall with a dude wearing a $450,000 watch. That's how I feel about it. So it doesn't mean that it's justified at all. I just also want to make sure that you guys understand that that whole movement in cryptocurrency is a little gross to me. I hope that he recovers and that everything is good. And of course, the robber gets prosecuted and then also gets the help that he needs, because obviously if you're desperate enough to be going out there and shooting people over money, like you're desperate for a reason, right? And it feels bad, man. It feels bad that this is these things happen for sure. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.